Hi and welcome. I'm Anna Klint, healer and coach and soul Sherpa, here with my pal, amazing renegade astrologer Emily Trinkaus, and the two of us are at it again. We are launching another half-day retreat for women from limitation to liberation on October 6th, and we're all about Pluto. Tell us more, Emily.
All right, we are going to be working with Pluto in Capricorn, transitioning into Aquarius. So, Pluto, which is the principle of death and rebirth, radical transformation. Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008. And for the past year or so, it's been going back and forth between Aquarius and then back to Capricorn. And we have one last passage of Pluto and Capricorn between September 1st and November 19th. So when we meet on October 6th, we'll be about halfway through the final Pluto and Capricorn, like the last hurrah. And some of the themes of Pluto and Capricorn, so Pluto, the planet that reveals the shadows, that takes us on an underworld journey, that reveals what we need to release, what isn't working, what has become stagnant or outgrown. Pluto is ultimately a force of evolution. So in Capricorn, some of the themes we've been working with are authority. So Pluto in Capricorn has been helping us see where we are not in our self authority and instead projecting our power outside of ourselves. And Pluto, of course, wants us to reclaim our power from wherever we've outsourced it and bring it back into ourselves. So that's a big theme. Also, Capricorn is the sign of the rules. And Pluto, which is so much about what's happening at a deeper level, the deep subconscious. This is
Mhm.
about dredging up the rules that we're following that we're not even aware of. So it's one thing to say, "Oh, I see my limiting beliefs in this area," but often there are rules that we that are unconscious, that we
Mhm.
just see, this is just how reality is. And this has a lot to do with our conditioning.
Yeah.
Capricorn is also the sign of family and social conditioning. So
Mhm.
Pluto and Capricorn, a lot about undoing our conditioning, releasing those rules that don't really serve us and aren't actually our rules, but that the rules that were programmed into us early on. And then also, Capricorn is the sign of fear and control. And we go into control, or we attempt to control, when we are afraid.
Yeah.
And so Pluto and Capricorn really helping us see where am I being run by my fear? Where am I trying to control life instead of trusting life and instead of trusting myself? So as Pluto has been in Capricorn, it's been activating a certain sector of your chart, a certain house of your chart. And the houses represent different areas of life or arenas of experience. So Pluto going back into Capricorn is going back into a specific area of your chart because there's one last piece of work there. And let me say also that the Capricorn area of your chart is often a very challenging area of your chart. So Pluto in Capricorn has been
Mhm.
pushing us to evolve ourselves, to face some of our deepest challenges and transform in those areas where we might have the most fear and resistance and stuckness.
Mhm.
So, what we're doing in this retreat is really closing out this Capricorn cycle and seeing, okay, what's left here? Because Pluto's never going to come back to this part of our chart again. Pluto's cycle is about 245 years. So, if we live for another 200 plus years, we'll see this again. Probably not.
Mhm.
So, let's finish this out consciously and
Right.
use this opportunity to really clear out those old fears and limitations and programs and
Mm.
unconscious rules and all of it. And we're also going to look at, where's Pluto going next? Pluto is going to be in Aquarius and a different house in your chart for the next 20 years. And the idea is if we do the work of Capricorn, if we take 100% responsibility for our experience, if we face our fears and transmute our fears and alchemize our fear and release those old limitations and blocks, then we get the Aquarian liberation. And
Mhm.
Aquarius is a sign of creativity and connection and freedom. It's a very expansive energy. So we're also going to be planting seeds of intention for the next 20 years of Pluto and Aquarius. And again, looking at which part of your chart is going to get lit up by that.
Mhm.
Anna has had some great insights into Pluto in Capricorn in her own chart. Do you want to share about that?
Yeah, totally. And that was one of the best things about the retreat was that, yes, we're talking about an overarching concept, but it affects each one of us in a very unique and precise way. And so, yeah, I did a deeper dive looking at Pluto and Capricorn in my ninth house, which is the house of spirituality, of meaning making, of uh, purpose. You tell me what I'm missing something. Spirituality, meaning making, and something else. How do
Well, it
you?
has a lot to do with our inner truth
Yes,
and
that's it. That's right.
ethics and
That's
belief
right.
systems.
Right. Exactly, exactly. And so 2008 till now has been in my Pluto's been in my ninth house. And during this time, I did have a really profound spiritual awakening that, happened around a decade-ish ago that was deeply uncomfortable, deeply painful, deeply challenging, extremely unsettling due to the insane amount of unknown that it brought up for me. And the invitation, you know, was to really like step into that kind of inner authority and like really tapping into intuition. I am an intuitive person. I've always known that, but to really claim it and own it and be with it. Um, I grew up uh with some religious trauma around like fundamentalism and of the god of my understanding as a child was maybe not as loving. And, a lot of shame around certain aspects related to spirituality as a child. And I really feel like shame is a key piece. Like Pluto really helps us to reveal that shame so that we can integrate it and that we can, not act unconsciously or, react unconsciously to those shame triggers in our lives. And so in the time of Pluto and Cap, like I didn't have energy healing on my radar. I became an energy healer. Wasn't intending to become a spiritual teacher. I became a spiritual teacher. All of these things. And Capricorn is very practical and, practical spirituality is like my jam. Like, not this like, airy fairy kind of stuff out there, but like, how do we embody it? How do we live it in a way that really makes sense? And that all came for me when I was willing to do a deep surrender with Pluto and Cap. Wasn't easy. I wouldn't say it was even pretty, but how I have grown and who I have become as a result of this journey is really kind of mind-boggling. Like just if I look back to 2008 to now, I could never have predicted that this is what I would be doing, making a video with you, Emily, and holding these retreats. And now here we are. And so that's what we're all going to have the opportunity to do, is to really reflect back on that. And as a result, when you claim and own the power that comes from that work, it's really exciting to think about the death and rebirth that's waiting in Aquarius in the next house, my 10th house. And so it's just really lovely and exciting and empowering. And yeah, do you want to talk about some of the logistics?
Yeah. So again, Sunday, October 6th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. live and in person in Santa Fe. And this is going to be a small group of 12 women, and everyone will have a copy of their birth chart. It's fine if you don't know anything about astrology. I'll walk you through it and show you where Pluto has been and where Pluto is going. And we're going to do some writing and some art and embodiment practice and laser coaching. So you can really dig in and really get some great insights into what has this
Mhm.
transformation been about. Because while you're in Pluto land, which is the underworld, you're in the dark. So often when you're in it, it's hard to see what's actually happening. There's a lot that's happening beneath the surface.
Yep.
But my sense is that now that Pluto has gone back and forth a couple times, going into Aquarius, which is a mental sign and really expands our perception. So, having experienced Pluto in Aquarius and then going back into Capricorn, we can get a new perspective on what has this journey been about, and then how can I harness the power that I've reclaimed while Pluto's been in Capricorn to then feed into this next phase of Pluto in Aquarius. And Aquarius, like I said, I think I said, it's about community and groups and friends. So I feel like it's so powerful, so important to do this work in community and to support each other. And as we each go through our own shifts, we feed that into the group energy. And there's a big energy of awakening with Pluto in Aquarius and a lot that gets sparked between people. So this will be really fun. We had a lot of fun with our first retreat and
Mhm.
very enlightening and enlivening, and please join us. The link to sign up is below. And again, it is limited, so you'll want to sign up sooner rather than later. And we hope to see you there.
Yes.